Okay, so I need to thin down the blade. Without messing up the stem, the ears and the barbs. Lots of overshots. That's why. I think that's probably why he made his tip so narrow. Okay. Trying to thin that down. Get those nasty overshots. The braiding doesn't help eliminate those overshots. They're going to happen regardless. I was taking it for granted that they weren't happening in the beginning. Anyway, that's enough thinning there. For the video, I don't want to be too adventurous. I really don't want to break this one. Okay, so I'm going to try to deepen and expand on those notches. So I'm going to try this stone perforator looking thing. See how that works. Now I do have an antler. Let me see. I do have an antler pressure flaker that I might be able to get in there and pop some stuff out, but it's so thick that I'll have to use a lot of pressure. With the stone perforator, I don't have to put as much pressure on it, hopefully, to get some results. I don't want to snap it. Okay, this is as far as I dare to go with that side. Now, is this stone really knapping the edges, or am I just crunching them in and abrading them? It is releasing some flakes, but it's a combination of abrading and releasing flakes. I am kind of crunching my way in, but it's also, some of those flakes are popping out. So I lost the barb there, but it gives me an opportunity to use the antler pressure flaker. Maybe I can make some progress. Without that barb in the way, I can use the pressure flaker. Well, theoretically anyway. I'm just going to continue with the stone. I think I've already stalled it, so the stone is the only thing strong enough to power through a stall. Yeah, what's really hindering my progress is the thickness of the glass. Otherwise I can get through that stall. Or I have to open up that notch a lot more. Yeah, I don't dare open that notch anymore. Okay. So that's stalled because of the thickness. You can see the difference. It's a lot thicker. Now, could I have gotten this thinner? Yeah, I could have gotten it thinner. I'm just not used to using the abo tools. I don't know, it's possible I could get it thinner right now and you know, try to get some flakes off the edge and try to thin it down a little bit. but the glass is pretty tough. Yeah, there's nothing to grab onto. Nice little overshot. So is it pretty common to be thick with elbow tools to end up with a thick finished piece? Yeah, it's pretty common. But it's mainly because it takes off so much of the edge. You know, that's the major problem. The more edge you remove, the thicker it's going to look. With a metal tool, you don't need to take off so much edge. And your width to thickness ratio is much better. Okay, so one side I guess is okay. I stall the other side. But I'm not going to sweat it. I don't care. It'll be a little thick. And I think you guys got the idea as far as the challenges with the elbow tools. The thinness is a challenge. The wearing down of the tool tips is a challenge. You know, you got to constantly dress the tips to get them to work right. Resharpen. The fact that I didn't abrade at all makes it a little bit harder, but it's not all that much harder. The thing about clear glass is it's hard to see. It's hard to see the edge. It's pretty tough, so I don't have to worry too much about breakage. Now there's a big old overshot area that I can't press on right there, so it's going to be a thick spot. Wish I could get right in there, but there's a flat spot. I could try to get it from the other side, but then I risk snapping the whole tip off. Alright, so the edge is sharp. Except in a few areas. There it goes. I don't know if you could see that. Anyway, that's my attempt with abo. I guess it took an hour and a half or thereabouts. Now, I don't want to go any skinnier with the tip on video. I don't want to snap it, even though it may be useful to see how it fails. I don't want to do it. And I don't want to go further or try to expand that notch on that side to go deeper. But you can go fairly deep with abo techniques on a thicker workpiece. If it was thinner, you would see better results. There's an overshot area here where I could not put the abo flaker on it. It just keeps slipping off. Let's see. That's a complete flat spot right there. I could get rid of that with a metal tool, but with abo, you just can't get a tool on that. And the only way I could remove it is if I made this very, very narrow. You know, just work at it, zigzag it, and then I had to come back and work on the symmetry on the other side. But hopefully you can see what can be done with antler and that stone perforator to expand the notch. You can see how badly I stalled that one. But with a thinner workpiece, I could probably work through it and get them both like this one. But that's perfectly usable as is. It's just not as pretty as the other one. Let's see. It probably won't fit on the foreshaft. Let's see. Yeah, it's not too bad. I would just have to widen out the foreshaft just a little bit. Widen out the notch on the foreshaft. Yeah. Still fits fairly well. But yeah, I blew off that barb early on. I tried to go a little deeper when the barb was gone. I can get that pressure flaker in there much easier. It's a delicate dance doing a pressure flaking in between that. So if you lose some of the barb, you can go a little deeper. But I stalled it because of the thickness. And then with the stone pressure flaker, I was able to crunch in a little bit and expand it, expand it here and up here to try to come in and thin down the edge there so I can zigzag it, keep going back and forth and go deeper as I zigzag, or either that or just keep punching at it, flipping over, keep punching, and just turn the edges every time. So one of those two techniques would have done it had it been a little bit thinner. And if I expand the notch right now a little bit more, I could probably go in deeper, but it would widen way out. This would become more wide because I would snap a flake off here, turn it, snap another flake off, and zigzag it. Each time I zigzag, it goes deeper, right? And it'll go all the way around with the zigzag. And every time I do that, I can start over again and do it again. It's a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. The only other option is just to go into the base and try to punch out flakes into the base of that notch. But with a stall, that's not possible. So that's why some guys use the files and file it down so that they can get a thin edge and then pop out a flake. But that's cheating. Alrighty. So there you go. Kind of a crude attempt. Much shorter, actually, right? No, it's not too bad. All right.